Bart in there, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh,
The reporter, she's new on the beat.
oh, Patty. I know Patty, that's why I got that. That makes sense. She's on the beat reporter here. Okay. Would you call the roll, please?
Jason Blair,
Here.
Melissa Hunt,
Here.
Terry Kavner,
Here.
David Roberts,
Here.
Mark Ham,
Here.
Glenn Lewis.
Here. Would you please stand up and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 2 is the consent docket. Item A is approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting held January 19th, 2016. Item B, approve renewal of a memorandum of understanding with Heritage College Veterinary Technology Training Program. Item C is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2015-2016 in the amount of $1,316,066.34.
Move to approve.
Second. All right, thank you. Would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 3 is consider adoption of resolution number 84016, programming the widening of Southwest 34th Street between Telephone Road and Santa Fe from 2 lanes to 4 lanes as a surface transportation program urbanized area, an SPT UZA project, and request concurrence from the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, ODOT, and this is from Community Development.
Mayor and Council, this resolution will program the widening of Southwest 34th Street between Telephone Road and Santa Fe Avenue from 2 lanes to 4 lanes with ACOG to receive federal funding. This project would be approximately a mile in length. It would include a 10-foot multi-use trail along the south side that would then connect over with the new overpass that the city has underway to eventually connect up the west and the east half of the city across the overpass. If approved, this would be an 80-20 match with the federal funds, with the city's share at 20% or $600,000. The federal share would be 80% of $3 million, which would be $2,400,000. This is the first part of the process to get ACOG funding for this project. Once this is approved, we still have to go through environmental clearance and property acquisition. So this will be a very long process, probably not to be under construction within the next year or so. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
You did say this is 1 mile, right?
It is 1 mile, yes.
And it's $3 million. I just want people to know how much a road costs.
Yes, it's very expensive.
When they want a new road. Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner, David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 4 is consider approval of a revocable permit in Lot 1, Block 1 of Grace Point Addition, Section 5 for the construction and maintenance of 7 carports within public utility easements. Application by Ron Walters and Community Development.
Mayor and Council, this item is to approve the construction of 7 carports in public utility easements that do have water or sewer lines in them. At the time that this was developed, the city knew that it would be a tight project. It was done as a planned unit development with all of the siding of the carports and buildings beforehand. And as they went under construction, we did realize that they would be in the utility easements. If approved, this permit does give the city the right to come in and repair any of the utilities that we need to. If by chance we do need to have the carports deconstructed and removed, that would be on the ticket of the developer, and the developer has agreed to this.
These are the same type of carports he's built.
Yes, they're all brick, very, very nice.
Yeah, that actually was my point. These are not carports, these are kind of carports.
Right.
Yeah. Move to approve.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
yes,
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 5 is consider approval of an agreement between the Oklahoma Department of Transportation and the cities of Moore and Norman for participation in a jointly funded traffic study on I-35 corridor from Southwest 4th Street to Robinson Street, with the city of Moore's portion being $193,750, or 25% of the actual cost.
Mayor, you may recall that this item came before the council before. I don't remember exactly when, some time ago, a year probably or more. At that time, it was significantly less money that we were looking at on the city side, $75,000 versus this $193,000. You all approved that agreement. The city of Norman approved that agreement, and ODOT solicited proposals for engineering consultants to do the work. When that was done and ODOT began to negotiate with the consultant, look at the scope of work, it began to grow and grow and grow. And actually, it grew to about $2 million. And then we, the two cities, met with ODOT and said, we're not going to do that. So ODOT went back to the drawing board with their consultant and reduced it from the $2 million significantly. It's still more than what the original agreement was. But again, to refresh your memory, this is a traffic study that we originally agreed to participate in with Norman and with ODOT to look at the traffic operations and to look at the span of Interstate 35 from 4th Street to Robinson Street in Norman, look at all the existing interchanges, their functionality, look at all the existing section line roads that aren't at interchanges or there aren't interchanges there, look at the feasibility of interchanges at those locations at some point in the future, look at all the traffic to traffic counts, project traffic, look at the functionality of the service roads, just the entire system of the interstate, pretty much as a precursor for the next number of years for ODOT to look at the improvements that need to be made up and down that stretch of I-35. As we all know, they're at the maximum in terms of the number of lanes that can be built on I-35. So now then they need to look at, and we need to be a player at the table since it's several miles, 2 or 3 or 4 miles in our city limits that are affected by whatever may happen in the future. If we ever were to have any hope of getting ramps at 34th Street, not with our bridge project, but at some point down the future, this is the first step in that process. I think it's important that we participate, be at the table to determine what will be the future of I-35, all of the interchanges. They'll look at 4th and that conflab there. They'll look at 19th and make a recommendation as to whether there needs to be any improvements at those two intersections. They're not funded now. There's no funding on the horizon necessarily, but these processes are long-term processes where they have to look at the traffic and then hopefully at some point in the future sometime begin to make some improvements that make sense based on this study, and then actually there will be another study at some point down the road whenever they've identified some alternatives. Here's some things we think that make sense, and there'll be further study at that time.
Would that include, for example, just so I can have it, almost $200,000, exactly what we're getting from that? You listed a list of things, and I think I understand that, but so some of the interchanges would be the on and off ramps from the interstate. So example, 19th Street, the northbound, the possibility of maybe moving that to a different location further south.
That is one of the things that we've specifically mentioned that we want to have looked at in the study. So yes to that, just to look at the functionality of all the different interchanges that are out there that are in our city limits. 4th Street obviously is not very good. 19th Street is okay, but it's not a traditional type system. They're building those spuies, those things that they're building down in Norman now, at new interchanges. That really needs to be there, but that, again, that's way down the road. So look at all of the interchanges, what can be done in design to make them function better.
And just FYI, at the last ACOG meeting, there was, somebody there was from ODOT, and they were just talking about some of the long-term issues on I-35, gridlock came up. So
Right.
there definitely are gonna be some things that are gonna have to be done.
Right. With that,
I heard the Secretary of Transportation last week, which is Gary Ridley,
yes,
saying that the I-35 segment from the I-40, I-35 junction down to the South Canadian River, he said that project has been going now for 36 years.
right,
He said, we're about to finish it.
right,
But he said, and he pointed out that that first segment that they did, which was down around the Canadian River, the North Canadian at that time, he said there were 60,000 cars a day going through there. He says now there are 200,000 cars a day going through there. So that gives you an idea of how many cars are going through more on a daily basis.
Another thing they will look at is, and they're gonna get any existing traffic studies that we've done, and we did a traffic study, as you all know, 3 different ones for our developing area. Norman has done the same, because they've got hundreds and thousands of new homes that'll be coming up in their city limits just to our south, and we continue to develop. So there's gonna be another X number of vehicles on the highway system within the next 20 years.
Only question I have, do we have the money? I mean, it's way over budgeted.
We will need to, the answer to that is yes, we'll need to supplement the budget in the general fund to do that.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
all right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve and a second. Any other discussion? If not, would you please call for the vote?
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we will recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item 6 is the consent docket. Item A, receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Public Works Authority meeting held January 19, 2016. Item B is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2015-2016 in the amount of $267,589.92.
Move to approve.
All
Second.
right, thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for a vote on the consent docket, please?
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. I'd just like to point out, I've had several people comment this week, door to door talking to people, that you guys sure do spend a lot of money in a hurry. We do get these at least a week in advance, and we have time to answer our questions with the city manager, so that's why it goes in a hurry. So I appreciate that. So next item is we will recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item number 7 is the consent docket. Item A is accept the minutes of the regular Moore Risk Management meeting held January 19, 2016. Item B is approve payment of workers' compensation compromise settlements in the amount of $25,000 to Jeff Bridges and $10,000 to Rhonda Bridges for WC number 2004-00072-H and authorize replacement on the ad valorem tax rolls.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, oh, wait, one more item, I'm sorry, it's on the next page. Approve, ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2015-2016 in the amount of $165,144.68.
Rerun that motion.
All right, thank you, sir.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second on the consent docket. Would you call the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we will recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and convene the Moore City Council meeting. Item 8 is new business, citizens forum for items not on the agenda. Anyone like to speak? Yes, sir.
Ken Jurema, 817 Southeast 13th. Mr. Mayor,
I had you
Council.
signed up, I am so sorry. I
That's
didn't see it
okay.
under here.
I just wanted you to know there's a big field behind my house that we've dealt with before. It's between 12th and 13th Street off Eastern. You guys have a crew in there now that are cleaning it out. And I've told them, I just wanted you guys to know, I wanted their bosses to know, they're doing an excellent job down there. We'd almost forgotten that the houses on 12th Street had backyards, and we saw some of them out cleaning up this weekend where they cleaned behind them. So it's improving our area, and we want to thank them and want you guys to know that they're doing a good
Okay.
job.
I think you just did. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you very much.
I just have one thing, and I got to talk to Mr. Eady just a little bit before the council meeting, and that's the, OnCue will be opening soon, and I've had a couple of questions in reference to the southbound traffic that exits off I-35, and then the traffic that's going to be getting on the I-35. They're not yielding, and so it's going to be more congested once the OnCue has opened up. Could you share a little bit again?
Sure,
what
yeah.
you may be doing?
There has been quite a bit of discussion and interest about that. When they submitted their plans, we visited with them and talked to them about the location of the driveways, knowing that this was going to be of concern. So we worked with them as far as the location of the driveways to have the least impact that possible. We asked ODOT, requested that ODOT approve the installation of a stop sign for the service road, southbound service road there, right about where the OnCue is. They've not approved that yet, but ODOT and the new division engineer is very aware. He actually lives in Norman, so he sees it all the time. He's very aware of what could happen there. They're going to watch it as well as us to watch it and see how it works. They may very well then at that point approve the stop sign or not, or take other measures if it becomes a significant issue with backing traffic onto the main line. That's their concern. The other issues are really not their concern too much. I've also told members of the neighborhood, the electric addition to the west of there, that we're going to watch it closely in terms of traffic entering the neighborhood, particularly trucks from that new business. So far, OnCue has been pretty good to work with us in terms of issues and concerns. So we're going to watch it in terms of truck traffic, either delivery trucks to their business or trucks getting off the highway, whatever, and try to make sure that it doesn't impact the neighborhood. Kevin Bloss is the new division engineer and is aware of it. Going to watch it, and we'll be talking to him when they open and see how it goes. If you guys get calls, let us know what people are thinking and seeing. It is going to be a bit of a interesting mix there until people get it figured out.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? I have one thing. I talked to Steve about this. I would like to, at the next meeting, have on an item to discuss the possibility of us placing on the agenda for, or actually for a vote in November for curbside recycling. We talked about it in '08, we talked about it in 2010, and out campaigning, a lot of people want this, a lot of people don't. So I think the easiest and fairest way to do it is to put it on, maybe have a couple options for people to vote on. If they want to do it voluntarily and pay for the service a la carte, or if they want to make it mandatory. But I think it's time that the people get to vote on this.
So we'll just have more opportunity to discuss it.
We'll discuss it at the next council.
About possibilities.
I'm just kind of giving you a heads up. So
Great.
that'll be on there. Okay. Anybody else? Any items from city manager or trust manager?
Not this evening.
Okay. Item 9 is adjournment. So moved.
Second.
Would you call the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, we're adjourned. Thank you.